Winter. Do you remember waking up when snow had fallen in the night? How quiet it was outside the house when the world turned wintry white. Do you remember how light it was before pushing the curtains back and seeing icy fern pictures, Jack Frost's filigree track? Do you remember how bitter it was as you reluctantly got out of bed, noses cold in the Arctic air, chill lino under your tread? Do you remember how we got dressed, ready to brave the raw day? Vests, jumpers, socks and hats, and black Wellingtons ready to play. Do you remember the excitement we felt as we rushed out of the front door, stepping onto the blanket of snow, fresh white, then footprints galore? Do you remember how we played, making snowballs oh so round, fat snowmen with old pipes and coal for eyes we found? Do you remember how our hands froze, our gloves just dangled on strings, cheeks glowing, noses running, but we didn't notice these things? Do you remember the fun we had, making slides across the path? Sledges made from old tin trays, how it made us laugh. Do you remember how the road looked? The houses swathed in snow, trees with a sugary frosting, lights in windows all aglow. Do you remember the gardens? Not a chirrup from a bird, icicles dangling from gutters, boundaries snow-covered and blurred. Do you remember going to school? Our fingers hurting, we cried. The milk was put by the heater as it was frozen from lying outside. Do you remember coming home on a darkening winter's eve, shivering, then warmed by the fire, and a bovril we may receive? But do you remember the cold and how it made parents ill, and those awful chilblains when we toasted feet that were chill? Do you remember the hard winters? 1947 and 63, I suppose, when it was so very cold, parts of the River Thames froze. How do you remember winter? Cold and damp and grey, or soft with falling snowflakes, making a splendid winter's day? Robin. The robin, our winter bird, was voted the nation's favourite. What is your favourite bird? Black wellies. Do you remember that we all wore black wellies? What did you wear in the snow? Living rooms. Most homes in the 1950s had coal fires. What do you remember having in your living room? Bovril. Do you remember the taste of Bovril? What were your favourite winter warming drinks? Milk at school. Do you remember drinking milk at school? It was so cold sometimes it froze over, and some teachers put it by the radiator to warm it up. Sledging. Whee! So much fun sliding down a snowy slope. And a little bit scary too. Do you remember the smell of paraffin in your home? Do you remember the paraffin man? He used to come round with a big tin. What are your memories of the harsh winters of 1947 or 63?